What do you say to the people who are like, oh, you shouldn't drink out of plastic water bottles because of the plastic in your body? My mom was trying to scare me yesterday. She's like, hey, did you know they did a study where the average human being has drank so much water out of plastic that they have 20 credit cards in their body? Insane.
I mean, I think there's some validity behind it.
Is it enough to make you switch to not drinking plastic water bottles and only drinking out of stainless steel?
Well, I guess my shaker bottles are plastic too, right? I drink out of those all the time. But I drink out of containers like these nice Yetis you and I are drinking.
Yeah.
So, hey,
sponsor.
No free ads. Yeah, we got these really nice Yeti mugs and things that we've been rocking for quite a while. We haven't heard a peep. I'm just saying. Not saying, but I'm saying. So if they're hearing it, because I'm saying enough of it.
You're saying it with your chest.
I'm saying, yeah, a little sponsorship here and there for the little guy making a come up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Little guys. Yeah, we're working. Yeti, come on.
Dexter agrees, too.
Yeah, got my Dexter's Laboratory shirt on. We are all go, no show this morning, everybody. Welcome to fucking Off the Dome Radio. Anyway. Kind of
that was one of the best
kind of got on
live introductions we've ever had. Thank you for that.
No, there is. So I am not the best at it. I use a lot of Tupperware that they say it's like microwave safe, but I don't like to heat up in plastics. If I'm on the go or if I have meals that I took to the gym, we have like bowls and stuff. I just get lazy sometimes, throw it in there, but I don't drink a lot of actual like water from water bottles. Yeah. Again, it's mostly stuff like these Yeti containers. I have one for water too, shaker bottles, things like that. So, I mean, I drink out of those every day, like during my workout. So, I guess I do drink water out of quite a bit of plastic.
I do too. Yeah, there's just
Tim.
There's a lot of reports out there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like good water. Like. There's definitely a noticeable difference from brand to brand. So, like, I'm a brand person, like, what tastes the best.
Right.
So, yeah, at this point, but at the same time, I have, like, a Brita water filter at home that sits in the refrigerator.
Clutch.
You put, like, tap water through it, and, like, it filters, like,
also
lead
plastic.
And, like, all the, plastic.
But the container is plastic?
Yeah, that's pretty good. But, like,
so
at the same time,
filtered.
it's, like, not, it's not as convenient to like fill it up all the time and obviously like take on the go. But
the best would be like the faucet style.
Yeah,
is the most convenient. Man, I go to my parents and I get ruined because they have like the you tap the faucet and it turns on. Like the neck of the actual faucet, you tap it and it turns on and off. So then I come back to my place in Indy and I try to turn the faucet on. I'm tapping this faucet for like 13 different taps like an idiot. I don't have that shit. That's nice stuff.
Those are fun to use. My sister has that.
Oh, they're great. Your hands are dirty. You just back of the hand tap.
Yeah. A little tappy tap.
A little tap, tap, taparoo, Will Smith style. But no, there's definitely, plastics. Consuming plastics is harmful to the body for sure. Now,
yeah, but the question is like, how much is too much? Like,
so I would say
at the point of no return. Like,
no, I would
this
say
compared to other things we have in our body, like
there are,
and how much attention we should give to it.
Right. Well, I don't think it should like ruin your life unless you're doing nothing but plastic water bottles all the time. If you're always heating up in Tupperware all the time, if you have even a paper bowl or plate to put your food on, or glass. Like I'm probably going to invest in some glass Tupperware soon, just because I use so much freaking Tupperware, man. So I'll probably switch to that because that's a big constant, and I'm only 28, so it's like I got a lot of years left where I can still keep using plastics and maybe do harm to my body. But in terms of, so if you're thinking, oh man, yeah, I do a lot of plastic water bottles, but if you're eating McDonald's 6 days a week, let's arbitrage a little bit. Let's, what's the most important right now? Yeah. If your diet is dog shit, focus on that before the plastic water bottle or the Tupperware, whatever it may be. Get the biggest things in check. I'm not going to say the easiest, but the biggest and probably easiest to put at the top of the list. Working out, exercise, sleep before plastics. Like trash in all of those areas compared to drinking water out of a, you name it, container. I think those are going to have a bigger impact quicker, but I'm no doctor, than if you had a water bottle a day.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't think it's nothing. Like plastic in the body is a thing. It's harmful. Like we have toxins and metals and things like that, which some of those do come from plastics.
Yeah.
So, and if you heat heat up your food in the microwave and it's in a plastic container of some sort, a Tupperware, like you might not know it or taste it or see it, but to a certain point, you're melting that plastic into the food. Mm-hmm. So that's why heating up in a different container is best. Again, like I said, I'm not perfect. Sometimes if I'm at the gym office, I'm like, just toss it in because I'm hungry and not take the extra 5 seconds to put it in a plastic bowl or something.
Yeah.
But now after this discussion, I'm going to do everything I can to stop heating up shit in plastics.
Right.
But, I mean, your mom has good points.
Yeah.
Should we, get super scared about it? Probably not.
At the end of the day, she tells me because she cares, and always gotta welcome that. So.
Moms are the best. Shout out to all the moms.
Shout out.
But yeah, I mean, good thing to know for sure, and just be conscious of. But yeah, I think do what you can.
Yeah.
If you can, spend a little more and get some glass Tupperwares, do so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get a nice container. I want to tell you to get a Yeti for your water, like your everyday drinking water, but I waiting on that sponsorship. They're really nice.
The second carrot has been dangled.
They're really nice. Yeah, my coffee is still hot from brewing it like 2 hours ago. Mm-hmm. It's perfect. But see, yeah, we can show these off for the camera. Like, it's nice. I got the 14 ouncer here. We got the big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're not playing around. So, yeah. All right.
So what's new in the life of Colin Slager?
New in the life? Oh, man, dude. How much time do we have?
As much as we need, man.
Okay. Pulling up our topics here. So the people that I got certified with my nutrition through Nutritional Coaching Institute, NCI, I forget if I saw an email or it was a social media something, but they were like, hey, schedule a free call with so-and-so and someone I've talked to before over there. And I've only had positive interactions with the people that work at NCI. And it was, schedule a call for us to take a look under the hood of your business. I'm like, well, I kind of need that because the hours I'm putting in and the return I'm not seeing, I'm just missing something. Like, I don't know what I don't know. And so we're talking, and I have since paid for them to be my business coach. Okay. So I'll go through different modules that will take me different periods of time. But I will connect with different coaches. I'll be on different live calls and things, so marketing and funnels with this person, kind of starting off the program with this coach. So they kind of use a little bit of everyone in their areas of expertise, which is cool, but decent investment. But they are pretty confident in their abilities. I've seen what they've done with other coaches. Mm-hmm. And he was like, look, man, you're not a brand new coach. You know how to coach people. I've seen what we do with brand new coaches, and we're gonna get you where you want to be. Yeah. So I think the next 6 months for me, as long as I stay consistent on all my shit, I'm looking to have some big changes with the business and scaling it a lot more so next year. Yeah, that's awesome. So it's good that you're doing. I got to do the work though. Yeah. Keep us updated on the new things you learn through that program over the next 6 months. And yeah, I'm interested to see, like, from your perspective, what you think right now and what they walk you through. If it's a matter of doing something you're currently doing better or doing something completely new, adding in, I wonder what the approach will be. Well, they walked me through the whole thing. And one of the biggest things they'll help me with is obviously funnels. but it's not just cold DMing 100 people a day. Like, I was talking to my guy Dustin over there. He's like, look, man, any business coach online, that is at least one of the steps they're going to have you do is just DMing people cold, like 100, 200 a day. And it's like, we don't do that. And I would hate doing that. Like, I don't want to do that. But onboarding and systems and processes, which I need help with because I hate making those things. I hate writing processes for when I scale so people can read it. Like, I hate writing manuals on how to do things. I despise it. But they might have a better way to do it. They might have nice templates. Who knows? But I've been less worried about the sexiness of the business, the forms and things, than just getting results for my clients. Like, before the forms look nice, the work has to be good. So, but they'll help me with that. I also got the rest of their continued education. So I started another, like their mindset. Then I'll do like hormone, thyroid. I'll do the level 2, the entire level 2, which is more performance based, which is what I want to do. Like, I want to work with performers. I dig that, from X Games to golf. Like, I want to deal with performers for a multitude of different reasons, but I'm just drawn to that part of health and fitness. So I think they're really going to help me overhaul, again, as long as I stay consistent, do all the work. And I asked him, I was like, hey man, how do I set myself up the best to be extremely successful through and after this? He's like, man, do the boring work. He's like, when you question it, when you don't know if you should even do that one extra step, he's like, trust the coaches and do exactly what they tell you to do, exactly how they tell you to do it. Just keep following through on your end and we will on ours.
Performers. Because you got to think about the fringe sports, right?
I'm sorry?
The fringe sports? The sports where it's not like totally common for athletes to be like really into nutrition and have like, because like there's a lot of sports out there where like basketball and football where a lot of the, like most of the players professionally, like they have a solid nutrition plan, training program, either through their team or whatever. But like, what are the sports where like people are individuals, like golfers or snowboarders who they're not really like on a structured schedule. They're not like, and it's maybe not as common for people to have nutrition plans in that sport. And I guess, not exploit those, but like really invest like your efforts in like, cause you talk about performers. So maybe like, they'll point in the direction of like people who are getting paid to perform, people who aren't getting paid to perform. Like what is the ideal client look like for you?
Like, I guess I need to narrow my athlete search down, but I like athletes. Like you and I working at the golf course, that's fun for me. You're very coachable. Athletes who are performance driven are easier to coach too, because they see where they need to get. And they see me as a way to bridge from where they're at to where they want to be. But so I love X Games, summer and winter. I absolutely love it. I would love to work with an athlete. They could be on a snowboard, they could be on a snowmobile. I just love that world of sports. Skateboarder, that would be super cool too. Name it. But I still love basketball. Like, grew up playing ball. I would love to work with, the more quote unquote traditional athletes. But you make a good point of the ones where they're more individual, like professional wakeboarding, water skiing. Maybe they're on top of their nutrition. Maybe they're kind of neutral, pretty balanced. But golfers, especially when golfers have to walk that much. So just to I don't know if I'm just a little nuts, but thinking about, okay, if a golfer is slightly overweight, one, it's harder to move. They don't rotate as well, likely, but they're golfers, so they're rotating all the time. But they could be stronger without that. When they're walking an entire course, even if they don't really feel gassed, like their body is working harder than someone who is 20 pounds, 30 pounds lighter. So now that body has less overall stress. And if your body is under duress, you're going to be tighter, a little more anxious, not be as fluid. If your body's cool as a cucumber, like, oh man, I feel good, let's walk all day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good to go. Someone in shape like McElroy, Tiger Woods, when he was kind of prime, he was yoked.
Oh my gosh.
Man, he was an animal.
Yeah, no, Tiger transformed the way athletes like prepare their body for golf. Because like before Tiger, yeah, there were some people that were like really fit and like really strong, but at the same time, like everyone just thought of golf as like who can go out and like shoot the best score. Like people were focused on that. But like, right. Yeah, it's a marathon. Like you're playing 72 holes each tournament, and you're walking from hole 1 to hole 72. Like you're having a whole different battle. Like you just highlighted, you're having a whole different battle apart from the like shooting a good score on the golf course.
And if you were well fed before you started, like 90, 120 minutes before you actually teed off, like that fuel is kicked in. Your body is super primed. You're ready to just rock everyone's world. But yeah, you're in good shape. You move better. You feel better. Your body's under less stress. You'll perform better. You're more relaxed. And it's just, you know, if you eat right, it's like your body's going to thank you, and you're going to just outlast everyone else.
Yeah.
And like I said, in terms of overall stress, you will have much lower duress on the body from, you don't have the extra weight. You're not sluggish. You're not winded where you got to catch your breath before you can even swing again. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, so, I mean, just circling back to like the initial, like you know what you want to do here. Like, you know what your solution is, you know what makes you different. Like you have like a complete picture of like how it's going to work out. Sounds like, I just think, and that's why you're partnering with this company. Like you want to find the way of like reaching that person and like telling them that, and them getting to understand and like come on board. Cause like you have the idea in between. I think,
I need to grow the business.
I'm trying to like think of this like for my business too. Like as you expand, like what's the best way to make that connection? Like obviously, like you can reach out to your potential clients directly and engage them directly. But I think it's also valuable to reach out, like who are the people that are in their circles who they trust apart from themselves. Like
that's a
like
good point.
Looking at an example from like golf or any professional sport. Like I think the agent of the athlete would be a good person to contact.
Yeah.
I think like in golf, the caddy of the golfer would be a good person. Like,
got it.
We show the caddy, like, what does this guy eat on the golf course? Like, I mean, I know he's a good golfer. He's one of the best in the world. He's a professional. He gets paid to do it. But like, what's his like stamina like on the golf course? Like, how does he feel throughout the round? And like, do you think that has
what's hole 13 and 14 feel like?
Yeah. Cause like, dude, yeah, I think that's a really good way to go about it too. So
like, are they tracking water? Like,
yeah,
you know,
like if I were at this point, like someone asked me the other day, like, hey, do you have any employees right now? I'm like, no, cause like I'm really not sure what I want that employee to do yet. Cause one angle is like, and what I was thinking about is like, I kind of feel like just paying someone to send like 200 like messages and like make 200 connections a week, whether it's with like recruiting companies or whether it's with like universities or whether it's like anybody, not reach out to resume people like directly, but like who are the people that they interact with on a daily basis, who's in their circle, and like who do they trust? Because like, yeah, if they have someone else telling them like, hey, like this person, I think it's also as valuable to tell them directly.
Yeah, that referral is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I haven't thought of who do I know that has circles like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the first things that kind of matter are like agents, like most time these athletes either have like a close friend, that's one group, but they also have an agent, they have a financial manager, they have people. I feel like most of them, depending, but yeah. That's what I'm talking about, like the fringe athletes, like the people who like, they're like kind of in that train. Like some people in the sport have that type of team, some people don't. Maybe it's like they're kind of, the sport's in a weird space where people are transitioning to more of a nutrition, like breathing based thing. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like I do a lot of different approaches for performance,
right?
And things I've done on my own body. So.
Hey, one thing that your breathing has helped me out with golf that I didn't foresee is putting on the putting green. Like obviously we do the breathing work for power off the tee and like full swing, but I find it like relax. Like I now have like a breathing technique before I line up, before I go to hit every putt. And it's like really relaxing.
I almost don't feel my arms when I putt. Like once I feel my trunk and I'm engaged, I almost don't feel my arms. It's so light. But also
accurate feeling.
My club, my putter doesn't move. Like sometimes I would like flow up or down, like if I was tenser shoulders. Mm-hmm. But once I like feel through the trunk and breathe how we were doing, like it's like water.
Yeah. And it's like,
and I'm no golfer, by the way. Big disclaimer: I suck at golf, but I feel the changes.
Yeah, and you talk about the arm feeling, but yeah, like you do something over and over so much, muscle memory, that when you get the breathing down, like that muscle memory like really goes into effect. Like you just feel good when you do it.
Yeah, and there's like this is what that feels.
And
like.
with weightlifting too, I've noticed the biggest difference.
Huge.
Like like when I focus on breathing, like the quality of my reps, like how good the reps are, B, like how much I'm able to do and like my efficiency with everything. Mm-hmm. And then I just, C, like I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I'm getting more for each rep when I focus on breathing instead of going out in there and just like trying to pump as much out. It's been good.
Yeah. And so next thing to try as well, that will help in just life in general, but also performance. If you're just lifting and your intensity isn't super high, see how long you can train only breathing through your nose. Or if you go and shoot buckets by yourself for like 20-30 minutes, see if you can do that all nasal breathing. Think about not opening your mouth. Like if you got your music in, you're just kind of in your Tim zone, see if you can go that time without breathing through your mouth.
Okay. Will do, Captain.
Because I do that a lot. Like if I go in and just do off day stuff on my own, or even if it's before class, like through both warm-ups that our coach will lead us through, unless I'm actually jawing with people, like I'll try to do it all nasal. I mean, it increases oxygen in the blood, so your body's under less stress. You can handle more stress. So I'll do 5, 6, 7 minutes on an erg, a bike, or a row, and just keep my mouth shut, and that just helps build tolerance within the body. So yeah, that would help with your golf for sure. Again, just stress, staying relaxed, but overall daily stress we can handle more with simple techniques like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Other than that, started watching Succession on HBO.
I've heard good things. I've heard people talking about that.
Yeah, I like it. I think the writing could be a little bit better, but I'm not writing for TV shows. But I think it could be improved a little bit. But it does a great job of showing how a family business can get a little ugly if it's not clear who's going to take over, who's getting paid what, who's in what position. If that's not absolutely crystal clear, where maybe everyone's a little unhappy, but they're all together against, likely dad, who's going to step down eventually. Like that's best case scenario. But, if that's not all written out well, then it can get real bad.
Yeah.
Or you just don't do business with family.
Right. And there's just always lessons to be taken from any show. That's what I like.
Yeah, and it's like you see different sides of business. Like it's a TV show, but how cold business can be in that show is equally, if not lesser, than how cold business can be in real life. But yeah, good show. I watch it like while I cook and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I saw Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah, was that good?
Other biggest thing. Yeah, man, it's super high level. Like shit, that man is so smart. It's scary, but that's nice because it forces you to really stay engaged and try to think about every word he's actually saying.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that's hard to tell people like, oh, what all did he talk about? I mean,
here's how I describe, because I saw him a year or 2 years ago. His performances are unique, not performances, but his talks are unique because he obviously like has an outline that he's following, like what he wants to talk about, but you can tell legitimately on stage that he's thinking through concepts while he's on stage, and like he's generating new thoughts while he's on stage talking to the audience. So you feel like you're like in his office, like while he's thinking over stuff. Like it's a unique type of thing. It doesn't feel scripted at all. Like it feels like he's actually thinking through.
Right. And I admired his long pauses. Yeah. Like he would stand there and just stare at the ground or over at the wall, and like while he's getting a thought together. Mm-hmm. And then he would start talking again. Yeah. And it's like, wow, there's so much power in that. You could hear a pin drop. And everyone's just watching this man think of what he's going to say next. Like, where is he going to take us? Oh, it was fantastic. But
it's good to hear he's healthier and being able to go out and do tours and stuff.
Yeah, Michaela was with him, his daughter, and they both look good. So it was a fun show. Mm-hmm. What's new in your life, Tim?
Yeah. Well, now that you said that, it reminds me. I saw a comedian this past weekend.
Nice.
Mark Norman.
Yes. Yeah, we'll start with the weekend.
Yeah. So I saw Mark Norman.
Okay, I don't think I've seen him.
He's a comedian. He's been on Rogan. He's been at it he's in his mid-30s. He's been a comedian for about like 10 to 15 years. So he's like really big now, I would say. I mean, here's how I describe it. Like if you're like a big like entertainment industry fan, or like like if you're like big comedy fan, like he's really big. Most people know who he is. But like I find like mainstream, like people like not a lot of people will hear about him. Like he's still becoming more popular. Yeah. He has like, I'm trying to think, he has like 500,000 followers on Instagram, so that gives you an idea.
It's not nothing.
Like, it's not nothing, but he was really good. I enjoyed the show. It was at Helium, downtown Indianapolis, within the Circle Center Mall. Yeah. I was just surprised at like how many people they were able to fit in there. He sold out a show. Obviously, he was there for 3 nights. He sold out every show. But,
nice. Good for him. I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, it was good. And one thing I liked about his performance, and I don't go to a lot of comedian performances, but he really knows how to engage the audience. Like he did like it's kind of like a Q&A session at the end where like he'll just like invite the audience to like spit out random stuff, and he'll like work off of like what they say. Like
that's cool.
They kept on. Someone was like, "Who drinks more, Bert Kreischer or I can't remember who the other person they said," but like the comedians that like you can just tell like the sense of community he's built based on the types of things that like the inside jokes that people say to him, like based on what like the past shows he's done and like his social media, how he interacts with fans on there. And I just thought it was good performance. I enjoyed it.
Good.
And then also bought a house and closed on that.
Oh, no big deal. Tim bought a house
up in Noblesville, Indiana, north side of
Indianapolis.
Let's
go. Big congrats. That's huge.
First time home buyer. Yeah, it was fun process, and obviously it's not over. I'll be making the move over the next couple months and doing the stuff we need to do to make it our own. And I'm just excited like to have a space that's mine. To have just like more creative thinking space, to like live in a neighborhood where I'm like 5-minute walk from a basketball court. I was telling you, I think I might be more excited for the basketball court in our neighborhood.
I think you probably are. You have a rat's ass about the house.
But
take a tent to the court. You're fine.
I'm an outdoors person. I go outdoors all the time. I play golf all the time, go outside. But like living where I live now will allow me to be outdoors more. And I'm excited. So,
good.
Yeah.
Good, man. What's your address?
Just know I'm in Noblesville. That's all you got to know, people.
Well, that's good, man. Have you kind of pictured in your mind what your office is going to look like? Have you laid it out a little bit?
I was there yesterday. Obviously, it's an empty house right now. We'll be moving stuff over gradually. But I have my folding table set up, and I have a putting green that our realtor gifted to us as a home gift. So those are the only 2 things that are just set up in the middle of the living room right now. I was there yesterday. Just kind of getting measurements for things, like trying to decide like what I'm going to buy, which couch or furniture I can buy, and getting the measurements for my office. But I have a pretty clear idea of what I want it to look like now. Yeah. Nice. I'm going to get like a standing desk that has the button where you can elevate it and convert it to a sitting desk.
Oh, super clutch.
Up and down. I'm definitely going to have like a TV in my office as well, like a huge monitor to watch stuff on, whatever. But you'll see when it's done.
Gonna have Mad Money on there.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Good for you guys, man.
We'll have you over soon.
Dude, absolutely. I'm there. Yeah, good for you guys. Noblesville is nice, man. I lived there for a little bit, and it's nice up there. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Like you're away from the noise, and when I moved up there, that's kind of what I needed, a little just quiet space to figure my shit out, get the business going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to like it.
I mean,
you have a basketball
it's the
court.
small things, right? I just wanted to be able to walk outside my house and walk and run or whatever, bike, whatever, and feel safe. It's just all I want. And that's what you
Not
get
have
there.
cigarette smoke floating from the floor beneath you.
Yeah, I just want to breathe clean air. Is that too much to ask?
Yes, absolutely.
Actually,
it is.
it is. You're right. Yeah.
Freak off, Tim. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You have to come by. Maybe make you guys a meal in your own kitchen.
Yeah.
Do a little cookaroo.
Yeah, you made beef stroganoff for me a couple weeks ago.
Dude, yes.
Wouldn't mind having that again, obviously.
Haven't made it since. I'll make it again.
Yeah.
That's
Fancy.
Easy go-to.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I like that one. Got that one from Mama Slags.
Mm-hmm.
But that shit can hit.
Yeah. This man can cook, people.
I dabble.
Just letting you know.
I dabble.
Yeah, he's cooked for me and not you. So.
Just twist that knife a little. Yeah.
I consider myself lucky, grateful.
Man.
But yeah.
Want to take us through some business tips?
Yeah.
Got any
for
tips
sure.
for the folks?
Yeah. So I'm just when I talk about business. I'll talk about business updates, and then I'll give a career resume writing tip. So just
Love
a
it.
couple quick things. No like crazy updates about resume writing business right now. I'm just enjoying working with new people and still like constantly like refining my process of like asking questions and investigating needs and making people feel comfortable on the phone when we first meet. So still perfecting those processes, but continuing to, I mean, it's crazy that our discussion 15, 20 minutes ago about building a business has my mind working about my business right now too.
Yep.
But fostering relationships with recruiters and like people who deal with the same people that I provide value to. So trying to invest in those relationships. And yeah, I really think at this point I need to like hire someone to like just make these connections. Like their sole responsibility is to I'll create like something that they can send out, and I'll create like a list of points about who I am and like why people enjoy working with me, and just have them do that. That's what I want to do right now with that. But
how do you think you're going to go about, like, what are you going to look for to find that type of person? Like, you're looking for basically a connector, a broker of people.
Yeah,
right?
just
so
doing something that I don't have time to do right now. Like I
Right.
literally have like I mean, obviously like the person I would bring on, like they can educate me on creative ideas, and I want them to give me insights that I'm not thinking about. But at the same time, like I know exactly how I want to reach out to people, and they can mix their own formula into it. But I'm just going to give the person the blueprint of like, hey, like here are the types of people. Like I want you to contact like universities in this section of the United States. I want you to contact recruiting company, like find as many recruiting companies as you can. Find as many solo entrepreneurs who run their own business being a recruiter and like helping people find jobs. Like find as many of those people and just let them, and then get them like, here's the template that I've been using to send out. Here's some of my deliverables, my attachments, examples of my work, marketing sheets, whatever. Here's this, like just take it and like create as many relationships as possible. That's pretty much what I would have that person do. And like who, so I guess that's what I need to
would this be full time?
I would. That's the one thing I would do. Like I would negotiate. Like, hey, like here's what I'm willing to pay to you per week, and here what amount of hours do you think would be worth your time to do that per week? And that's what I would ask them. And I'll give them a general idea of like numbers too. Like
I'd say set the initial price and you can negotiate.
Here's the amount of people that like I ideally want you to contact per week. I guess there's multiple ways to kind of go about that. But
yeah. Sounds like you need someone who's interested in sales, who's maybe not in the sales game yet, but that'd be a good start for them in sales.
Yeah. Someone from a college, someone who's like a butler or something, or who's
reach out to either McKnight and or McQuiston.
Okay.
Because McQuiston can sell
like,
someone their own car back to them.
Who's your best student?
No, straight up.
Yeah.
Not even playing.
Who's your best? Not best student. Like, who's your most passionate student that speaks up the most out of anybody in class?
Hit them both up
doing well.
and be like, hey, this is who I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone that fits this mold? Like, if they really want to start selling, like, this is what it is.
What month does school end?
They're probably finishing their last few exams before gearing up for finals. They're usually done by Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, then I should probably act on this quick before people go home for the summer. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what I would do. You going to pee?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim's always got to pee. But I think it's because of these awesome Yeti things. His is monstrous. How big is this thing? That's got to be 32 ounces. Yeah, holds a lot of high quality fluids. Maybe they'll sponsor us one day. We'll see. Never know. But yeah, bladder of a child. Figured I'd just kind of keep talking until Tim gets back. I think he's going to really enjoy when he goes back and re-listens to this little segment here at like minute 33, 34.
All right, I'm back. I can't wait to listen to that later. When I go.
Talking about his 4-year-old bladder.
Dude, I drink a lot of water. It comes with the daily game plan. I know I'm gonna pee a lot. Whatever.
Whatever. But yeah, I think you tell them exactly who you're looking for.
Yeah.
And they both know you, you know them, and describe your business and the role, and they'll find someone, or they'll be like, hey, I don't. Mm-hmm. But odds are high that they're probably going to have someone. And that, honestly, like, you can still pay them well for a college student, but not have to pay them for someone who's maybe been in sales for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and you're also giving them really good experience. Outside of them working, like, going to knock houses, like, trying to talk to recruiters and colleges and people that have decision-making capabilities is going to give them the best experience, like, right out of the gate, better than their college degree. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I just decided what I'm going to do as well. And give that person.
Or keep it to yourself and keep your strategy.
No, because what I'm going to do is, like, obviously we're going to have this person. I'm just talking about what am I going to give this person to send out to people. And I'm going to create a 30-second to 60-second video.
Sweet.
For them to send out to people.
That's
Me
clutch.
Talking to the camera.
Videos get a lot more engagement.
Like, yeah, they can send an email
and responses.
They're representing me. They're writing like what there is about me. But I think they should do that. But they should also attach a 30-second video of me like talking to a camera and like me putting my passion into it and actually like so they know like what I sound like, what I look like, and like what I'm about in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and minimal copy in the email, like few lines here, few lines there, video, bam.
Yeah. Okay.
That's huge. Love that.
Yes. Okay. And then quick career tip. I actually got a question earlier this morning from a client about, hey, like what should I put in the header of my resume?
Ooh, so like where you would put your address and number and things like that?
Which is, it seems like a simple question, but there's a couple things you can do to actually get a leg up on other applicants and other resumes. Obviously put your name, your contact information, your phone number, your email, basic stuff, and then your city, state, and zip code. If you're going for jobs in a specific area, if you want to confine your search to a specific area, put your city, state, and zip code. Okay. If you're going for remote positions, you don't put city, state, or any location.
And would that be the same if you're willing to move for a job?
So if you're willing to move for a job, you'll also put the location of where you would like to move to.
Okay, so you'll just change it based on each job you apply for in whatever city and state. Okay.
Yep, I helped a guy relocate to Savannah, Georgia, and I think he was moving from Michigan to there. He hadn't officially moved yet, and we were getting him a resume to get a job down there, and we put Savannah, Georgia in his header. But where I think you can really differentiate yourself is the first thing is a link to your LinkedIn profile at the top. Like put LinkedIn profile, and then you can embed a link to your LinkedIn profile. So if someone wants to like click and like view your profile, they can just get there directly from your resume. Yeah. And if you send a PDF, it'll just show up as a link, easy click. The other thing is like if you're someone who has an online portfolio, putting a link to your online portfolio is also a really good thing to put. And I know obviously that is a whole separate discussion. It takes a lot of work to create that portfolio, but any like online space where you have examples of your work. So that's another 2 things that you can put there. And people ask, this person this morning also asked like, hey, like, is it okay for me to put my Twitter and my social medias on there? And I'm like, so here's my take on that. I would say unless you use your social medias, the main focus of your social media accounts is to put out information about your industry and like what you do and like what you do on a professional basis. Yes, but like if there's any like personal stuff that you put on there, like no, not on a resume. So that's the question I got there.
Fair enough.
Like I know people who are like they're like in insurance sales or any type of sales, and they specialize in a certain thing, and that's what they use their Twitter for or their social media. So yes, that's when I think it would be good to put it on there.
Yeah, and it's like also social media is a pain, but people are gonna look, so just don't do dumb things. But
yeah, but sometimes like if what I say is like if you think that your social media is an asset to you getting a job because you're like putting stuff on there that's valuable and shows your expertise in your industry, yes.
Then
but like don't put it in there if it's not going to make your case better. So
it's a good point.
But yeah, quick tip there, and that was actually from a question I just got this morning I'm trying to leverage more questions I get from clients and like kind of answering them through the show. So.
That's good. I mean, yeah, it's a good question because social media is a huge part of life. So yeah, I like that. I did have another question. Nuts. You talk about adding links to like a portfolio of works. Mm-hmm. Would that be like just in your documents on your computer? Is there a different site that you know about where you can like upload an entire portfolio, or just simply refer to a website?
Yeah, so some people have websites. I would say a very popular alternative for online works is Google Drive. You can share a link to a Google Drive and make it public for the people who have the link and just put it in there. And that way people can view it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But I'm sure that's a good question that you ask as well. I'm sure there's several other like alternatives where if you don't have a Gmail or if you don't want to create a Google Drive, like you can just easily have it like a Dropbox folder. Dropbox is an example. Yeah. I'm throwing around Dropbox folder term like it's a regular term. No, Dropbox is an actual company.
They're big.
So, kind of like the Kleenex thing. Like, hey, can you give me a Kleenex? Kleenex Kleenex isn't the name of the thing. It's a tissue.
It's a tissue.
Kleenex is the brand. There's so many things like that we do that.
Gosh, man,
Thermos. Remember when
dude, I used to have a thermos when I was a kid.
People threw around that term like it was just like a common item. Like, no, that's the name of the company.
I had a Batman thermos. It was gray and blue. Yeah.
But yeah, your turn though. Is there anything that you'd like to share? Like anything that you've learned through your business this week? Any tips that you have for people?
Yeah, I'm gonna go sport mode here.
Sport
with my hat. That's what Mia calls it. We were at ceramics one day. We were doing some pottery, and I put my hat backwards. She goes, "Oh, sport mode, huh?" I was like,
"Oh, I
like that."
Yeah.
So I'm going.
Maybe we should make that a topic of a section of the show. Sport mode.
Sport mode.
Yeah.
I'm going sport mode for my. Well, I kind of gave my business update. Biggest thing is getting some business coaching.
Yeah.
But in terms of tips, I wanted to talk about recovery today.
Okay.
Because I see a lot of people who probably overtrain, too much overall stress on the body in and out of the gym. Gym stress, although we deem it quote unquote good stress, it's still stress. So challenge in everyday life is how much of that can we manage and mitigate. But we need that stress to create certain physiological changes and get the gains we want to get, because the after effects of post-exercise very beneficial. I mean, it's good to be healthy. But I think recovering in between your sessions is still not taken as seriously as it should be. Like, I don't hit it hard 5-6 days a week. I CrossFit maybe 3 or 4 days a week. I'll do 1 or 2 days where I maybe practice a skill or a movement. Maybe I do some bodybuilding, like traditional bodybuilding movements, something I haven't done for a while. I'll have a day where I just maybe ride the bike, row, hit the ski for a little bit, super casually, do mobility, some flexibility, and just kind of mosey around and just move. So yeah, in terms of days where I hit it hard, 3 or 4, and even those, I'm not like redlining myself. Like yesterday, we had one where it was all gas, no brakes. Yeah, I hit it hard. But that's probably the only time I'm going to get that close to that this week again. It's just not necessary. But what I will pat myself on the back for is when I know my body needs rest, I take it. Like it's no questions asked. If I want to do something from that day's workout, I'll do that on my own time. And I'll just be casual with it. I'll work on the movement, make sure it's a quality movement, and I'll get in, do my shit, and get out. It's, I have no guilt of just taking an off day. And I think we are still stuck in this, I have to go hard all the time. No days off. I see Jocko up at 4:30 every single day. Even when he's tired, he's in the gym. Okay, yeah. If you're just a little tired, you can still work out. If your body is telling you, I'm pretty trained right now. We should probably keep it pretty light and do very minimal things. Maybe we walk. Maybe you do an active activity. Like I'll go play tennis with Mia, and that's all I'll do. I'll just go play tennis, stretch, and that's it. Didn't even pick up a weight. Where it's these people want all these gains. Look, I want them overnight too. I wish there were a magic pill, but going hard 5-6 days a week is going to be, eventually you'll hit a point of diminishing returns where more work is actually going to do more harm than good. Where if you let your body truly rest and recover, you get good sleep, you still eat well, you eat the right amount of food on your off days, you're feeding the machine, and then the next day you're ready to go again, but you feel good. If you just drive yourself in the ground, you're going to get the opposite results. You're not going to lose the weight. You're not going to gain the muscle. You're going to feel like garbage. You're going to be overtrained, overtired, irritable. I mean, the list will go on.
Yeah.
And you think you're doing all these good things for your body, which I understand. But some days less is more.
Yeah.
It won't take much some days to fire your nervous system or, just get the response you're looking for. Do some light band work. Bands are slept on. I love bands, especially on an off day. But people are not letting themselves recover, 1, just that, and 2, recover without guilt.
Yeah. And obviously you talk about getting the right sleep, you're talking about eating right. There's a lot to unpack there, obviously.
Right.
And you gave a good example about the band work, but what would you tell the people who maybe they go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, they get in, they put in like 30 minutes to an hour and they go home. So nothing crazy. What's one thing that they can start doing with no equipment that can make them be more intentional about recovery? Like anything simple, like with no equipment and anything apart from just eating right and sleeping.
Oh, so like exercise wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like something simple, something easy, something that doesn't require equipment that can allow them to
walk.
Okay.
20-30 minute walk a day. You'll get close to 10,000-ish steps maybe with a 30-minute walk if you're kind of, you're not slow poking it, but you're not speed walking. You're just walking.
Yeah.
I think steps are huge.
Yeah.
The power of steps is amazing. And you get outside, so if it's sunny, you get vitamin D. So there's other benefits and side effects to walking outside. But, I see people on the Stairmaster for an hour, this and that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just go walk. It's more fun anyway. Or do something else active. If you don't have equipment, I guess you'll need equipment to like even do tennis or something like that. But yeah, walking is very basic. Very basic. Just doing things like yoga. I mean, if you want to get a mat, but you really don't need anything to just do 20-30 minutes of yoga. I don't do enough of it, but before COVID, I was doing it 2 nights a week. And once your body starts to open up and get used to what we're doing, like 4 or 6 weeks, you start to really see, I can take this so much further. I can get deeper in this pose. Gains go up exponentially because then you can train to full range of motion. You can train joints and muscles to their proper ranges of motion, and that will inhibit better changes too. So I think, yoga, walking, general just flexibility and mobility movements and holds and poses and exercises, which if you don't know where to start, hit me up. Like that's the world I live in. But all of those things, you do not need any piece of equipment. It's all for free.
Okay.
I mean, take the time to look it up or ask me, and that's what you have to do.
Okay.
But yeah, I think those things, walking, yoga, stretching, doing mobility work, you don't need equipment, very beneficial for the body.
Yeah.
And breathing, making sure you breathe into your diaphragm. You're not just upward breathing, rising your chest. Breathe low abdominals first, breathe out, then up, kind of like you're filling a balloon. Start low abdominals, breathe out, then let the air rise. That way you really expand that diaphragm. Now, like, things internally can open up. Organs can move and work more freely. You can expand that rib cage a little better than having this collapsed rib cage, which then will restrict breathing even further. So, I mean, everyday things that we do, we just don't think about. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say those are pretty big. But like, let yourself recover, man. Like I said, from the internet to real life, I see people that are probably overtrained and maybe don't know it, don't feel it all the time, because we always have to like feel things. But man, gains will improve with whatever you're trying to do: lose weight, gain muscle, increase performance, if you just let yourself actually recover.
I think I could be better at this.
Yeah, just like tone it back a day.
Yeah.
If there's a day where, hey, if you've hit the weights 3-4 days a week, like, I'm sore, a little tired, but I need to go train. Man, just play golf that day. Don't even pick up a weight. Just play golf. You love doing that too. It's good active recovery. Like, you're moving, you're rotating, you're breathing, like you're working speed and power. Like, you're still working so many different adaptations, but you're letting yourself just recover a little bit. But yeah, I think less is more sometimes, and you'll see more for it in the long run. So yeah. Let yourself recover. That's my big thing. That's my spiel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Get off my soapbox now. Let me step on it down. There we go.
That was a long drop.
Hey, I got up there for a second, and I can admit it. But damn it, man, I'm so big on recovery. It's just like, let it happen and be okay with it. Okay, let's get down and nerdy with it. You go, because I'm tired of talking right now.
Yeah, take a break. Recover from here.
This guy.
Book talk. Coming Back Stronger by Drew Brees. One of the most accomplished quarterbacks. Retired. Purdue grad. Spent some time with the Chargers. Then the Saints. He wrote a book, and it's an autobiography, and he talks about... he says you can't focus on the bad things that might happen in a game, or you won't be able to function properly when you are in the moment. So I thought this was good, because you talk about performers, you want to help out performers. We each, like, regardless of what you do right now, whether it's for work, whether you're an athlete, whatever you do, like, you are performing in some way at some point in your day for an extended period of time. That moment, that period when you're performing, it's not the time to focus on the negative things that happen. Oh, like, maybe you had a not so good conversation with someone earlier the day. Like, you can't be thinking about that when you're providing value to the people you work with, or your clients, or family members, or whoever you're trying to provide value to through your performing. So I thought that was... I mean, this book is obviously he's a professional football, or he was a professional football player, and it's a sports focused book. But I mean, sports and life are so intertwined, and I think that this is talks about, like, when you're performing, the only thing that matters is your focus in that moment, and you can always dedicate time each day to reflect on the good and the bad of what happened in the day and form lessons from it and learn from it. But you have a responsibility to others to provide value to them in some way when you're performing. So whether you do it for fun, for the passion, whether you're getting compensated for it, like that moment you owe it to that person to give them the best version of you. And you're not going to be the best version of you if you're worrying about negative things. And
right.
So it's easier said than done, obviously, but it's something that you got to constantly be training yourself to do. And I'm constantly training myself to do it because we have so many thoughts that run into our brain each day. Like, I don't even know how many thoughts go into our brain, but so it's tough to do. But the people who are the best at what they do are able to hone in that focus and kind of block out the negative energy.
Right. Well, and sports is more mental than physical. Like, and I wish I were better at this when I was playing sports, of just controlling the emotion and accepting mentally, like, I'm going to miss a free throw. I might turn over the ball once or twice. Things are going to go sideways. And just being okay with that, because when it happens, like, all right, that's my mulligan. Let's get back after it. Got it out of the way. It's gone. And just going back to work.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the free throw or two that you missed in the first quarter and you're shooting them and you're tied up in the fourth, gonna miss those important free throws. Boo-boo.
Facts. Yep.
No, this is fantastic. Yeah. Oh, it's so much is mindset.
Yeah.
And not that I'm a master by any means, but channeling and like focusing that on the job at hand, that's a superpower, man.
Yeah. It's a good reminder.
Do you have any, I'm trying to think how to word this, any habits or techniques rather, that if you're on the golf course, or basketball court, I guess either, but I know you're like, golf is your, like, you've been doing that since you could walk. Growing up, things, if something didn't go your way, did you have a technique or something you said to yourself or do say to yourself to get you back in there?
Yeah, I still do. And this is something I always need to like reinforce because I can work on it. I'm a competitive person. I get mad at myself when things don't go my way. Like, for real. Like, people see it.
For real.
But I think the best thing that I train myself to do is visualize. Visualize the most successful, ideal outcome that you're about to do next. So if I hit a bad shot, if I miss a shot, if I turn over or whatever, every action that I make beyond that point, I'm visualizing success before it actually happens. Like, the next shot on the golf course, I take a deep breath and I literally imagine where the ball is going to go. Even though I just shanked my shot before, this next shot's going to be the best shot. Because, like, I remember I had one of my coaches told me that, like, when you play a full round of golf, like, you're going to have a lot of strokes out there. You're like, there's a lot of different, but you should never discount the importance of any individual shot. And like, if you have a bad shot, you should treat that next one like it's the most important thing ever. Yeah. And you don't want to dwell on the past. So that's why I visualize successful things happening before they happen.
Every rep counts.
Yeah.
Your next drive or iron can save the 1-2 holes before.
Yeah. And like, it's up to you. I mean, you have to trust that you put in the preparation before that for your body to do the work to perform well. But what you can control in the moment is like what you think is going to happen, what your mentals tell you. Yeah. So.
I like how you said that, the preparation piece, because my dad always said, whether it's sports or business, the most prepared wins. Yeah. Or school, name it.
It's facts, man. But it's the truest thing I've ever heard.
You're so less nervous if you are very well prepared. If you have to give a presentation, if you have to perform on the golf course, on the basketball court, like, if you know where your skills are at and you're like, that I'm super sound right now, I'm prepared, I'm going to roll over like my opponents, man.
And that's learning.
It's a dangerous day for everyone else. They're in trouble.
Yeah. And that's learning through experience too. Like, you have to, your preparation is obviously, you have the time where you put in work yourself, the solo work, the lab work, those long hours of studying, but like, don't discount all of the things that you've done in competition, relationships if you've created. Like, those relationships should give you the knowledge to be confident going forward if you're getting the most out of them. So yeah, learn from experience. Yeah, and don't be afraid to take risks and do things that are that you've never done before. Because like, when you do them, like, other things are going to become easier. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's a good point. Man, I still haven't read that book. But I've always liked Drew Brees on and off the field.
I mean, I think it's a niche where a lot of athletes write that same type of book. Like, it's not like you have to like.
Yeah.
But like, you got to just find the athletes that you identify with and you look up to, and most of them have the same type of vibe, same type of lessons. But it's through storytelling. We learn through stories, so
yeah,
you just got to take what you can out of each of them.
Yeah,
but
that's good, man. I had started it before I moved, and then hadn't picked it up, so I started over with How Emotions Are Made by Lisa Feldman Barret. I think it's funny that authors always have their middle name too. Yeah. They do the full.
It's more eloquent.
Full hurrah, I guess. I guess I feel better that I know middle name is Feldman. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Oh. So a couple takeaways I've had so far. I'm still like I said, I started over, still early on, but what we're in right now is kind of delineating the terms that we use. So he talked about experiments that he studied, or she, studying psychology and things. And she wrote that there were numerous experiments that showed when people will get the feeling of depression, it's because they let down the standards held by themselves. Mm-hmm. When people would feel anxious or anxiety, it's when they didn't live up to the standards of others, mm-hmm. which, like, I've not separated the two in that way, but it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, when I've like felt extra low, it's because I didn't live how I know I live, mm-hmm. or like to the standards of Colin Slager. Like, I did not live up to those standards. But I just thought that was interesting and important to kind of delineate the two. And when she was trying to do experiments of, taking surveys of how people felt, if they felt, stress or anxiety or depression, she had a ton of outcomes where they didn't know what to say, like that they felt. They didn't know what they were feeling, but they could have been depressed, but they were sad. So they would kind of write it all down. I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I'm all of these things. And so that's how she started to get into understanding like the terms that we use to describe our emotions. Mm-hmm. It's like, because emotions should have different physical changes, kind of like a footprint. And she was saying, so if we can understand how we're feeling and put that in proper terminology, and this is how I kind of interpreted, when we can do those things and understand, oh, I am feeling this emotion because it was caused by this action, then I think, at least for me, I would be able to better work with my emotions than trying to combat them. Because emotions are not going to go away.
Right.
And so when I was reading this, I'm like, if I can really separate what I'm truly feeling and why, like what caused that emotion, what is that emotion? Is that truly anger? Is that truly anxiety? Like, what was the action that led to that feeling? Mm-hmm. And what is it really? And then I can better work with that, work with the action and the outcome and my emotion and how I feel, work with it just by understanding it, and not go into a fit of, irritability or just being like put off for the day or something like that because of a certain emotion. Mm-hmm. So how do I work with them better? And I think it starts by understanding what I'm actually feeling and why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point.
So yeah, I have to read this one a little slower because it's pretty sciencey, but one that I think is going to be an important read for myself.
Yeah.
Just understanding what our emotions are, how they're made, and how we act with them.
Yeah, and how we act with them is reminds me of Travis Bradberry's Emotional Intelligence 2.0 book. It talks about how can you convert your emotions into productive actions and positive actions.
Yeah. Like,
you want momentum, right? Like, the people who, it's okay to feel whatever we feel. Like, that's step one, is like come to those terms with that. But you don't want to let those emotions pile into continuous bad decisions, because that's kind of I mean, the more you do that, the tougher it is to come back from it. You can always come back, but
Right.
You want that momentum. You want that positive action from your emotions. So yeah,
exactly.
Thank you for highlighting that. So.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for your insights.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Tim. Anything else?
I'm good on my end. Great
All
episode
right.
This morning. Beautiful morning. The rain's pattering on the windows. It's been a relaxing little session here. So
Good verb, pattering.
yeah,
Pattering.
pattering, pitter patter. Let's go.
All right, everyone. As always, thank you so much for hanging with us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Head on over to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review. We always like hearing from you guys, and let us know, topics you'd want us to cover, something that, you relate to, because you're probably not the only one. So we want to hear from you. We want to talk about those things on the show, and send us maybe guest ideas too. If you think, someone would be a good fit on the show, let us know. We're always happy to reach out, make a new connection, and do that. So thank you so much again, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day.